All right, I'm rolling, my man.
Good deal.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever told you this, but the podcast you and I did, number 104, regarding you helping, it was based around you helping your child or children get a scholarship or collegiate scholarship.
Right.
So that was one of my highest views that I've ever received. I don't know if I ever told you that. It was 100. What number was that? 104. So now I'm in the 300s, but still it is one of my most viewed or listened to podcasts. So
You've been pretty active with this stuff, with the podcast stuff.
I love the podcast stuff, and the coronavirus helped me with the podcast. So something bad happened actually worked out to my advantage regarding that.
It did, yeah. A lot more people are at home, and you're not on the road as much, so it gives you an opportunity to do this more often.
Yeah, the scheduling was mainly on me because I traveled so much. And when I did do it, I was either too tired to do it too early or it was too late. And Zoom kind of coming into play helped as well, being able to record on there. And I think more people are becoming more comfortable with Zoom, I guess you could say, where before they liked just doing the podcast where it was audio. People didn't want to see their face necessarily all the time, but now it's becoming very, normal, I guess you could say. So What else did I have to say? What's interesting is I want to update people. Not only did your son get a scholarship, now your daughter did as well for volleyball, correct?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, which is great. We were, it was tough because most of the season was canceled, so it took a little longer for her to, get a good offer. She's had some offers, but we got a really good offer. She got a really good offer. I mean, it's pretty much a full offer. A little bit far away from home, but it's her dream, so gotta let her live her dream.
She's going where, to Arizona, right?
She's going to Texas. She's going to San Antonio.
That's awesome. I love San Antonio. I put videos up on that place.
I can't wait to go.
She's going to have a blast there, I think.
Yeah, I can't wait to go visit.
I'd say that's my favorite place in Texas.
Good deal. Yeah.
I do. That's wonderful. So, again, obviously you're doing things right. That's what the whole podcast was about. Originally, the episode 104, because it was about a parent knowing when to step in and step out. And I think you did an incredible job raising your children. So that obviously shows.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, they don't come with instruction manuals or, playbook on how to do it. So you just wing it as you go along. And, thus far, I think it's kind of worked out all right for us and for them.
Yeah, for sure. Look behind me. I put this up. You could see.
I saw that. That's awesome.
You like it?
Yeah, that's great.
I've been using every background in the entire house after going up and down 3 different floors. I've been doing them outside, by a pool, everywhere. I said, I got to just get some different backdrops. So I thought Rhea took this photo and she sent it to me, and because I was trying all different Margarita Ball or Margarita Society pictures we've taken over the last 20 years. I don't even know. And that one came up the nicest, I thought.
Yeah, that was great. And every year, our invitations change. We got some guys that are involved with coming up with the invitations and the different bow ties and cummerbund and scarf combinations. And so we try to change it up because, it's a black tie and it's the same black, everybody goes there with a black suit. So we try to change it up every year so that the pictures don't look the same when we take our director's pictures.
Yeah, I got a bunch actually even saved on here, but when I was saving them, the way my head, I kept blocking everything out because a lot of them, as you know, are up and down the invitations. Mm-hmm. This one, I finally said, let's use this because I'm not in the way of it, so people could see it the whole time.
Yeah.
All right, let's. One of the questions I get asked most, I would say, is what is the Margarita Society? What's the Margarita Ball? What's the Margarita Gala? You being on the board and being a director, and me going as a guest, I guess, for the last couple of decades, 20 years or so, you being on the board for even longer than that, I thought me and you could do a podcast on what really is the gist of this and what people should expect. Because I think a lot of people either go to a website, sometimes they go on the wrong website because there's other Margarita Ball societies, I guess you could say. They don't put Orlando, or they get confused. And I usually, because of you, I'm very fortunate. You give me a substantial amount of tickets, and I have new people and old people, and we love going to this every year. And I just thought we could do a podcast on this, because if anybody wants to know about it, we could just send them here.
Right. Yeah,
right?
yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, we're always trying to get the word out on the Orlando Margarita Society. Like you mentioned, there's so many of them around the country. And I don't know how they started, but I know how the Orlando one started. I know there's one in Lakeland, which is not as dressy. There's one in Volusia County also. There's one in Alabama. There's one in Dallas, which is probably the biggest one in the country. The Dallas Margarita Society, I think they've had their event at Dallas Stadium. So, I mean, it's big. It's huge. But our society started in 1983, and there were some businessmen in town that were wanting to have a throw a party and invite some friends, and make it a bit of a charity event. And the admission was and always has been just bring a toy. Bring a toy for a boy. The men bring a toy for a boy. The women, the ladies bring a toy for the girls. And then they would donate these toys to charities. Our Margarita Ball is always held in late November, early December. Here recently, probably the last 10 years or so, we've consistently had it the week before Thanksgiving, or that Saturday before Thanksgiving. We had moved it around depending on availability of the hotels and their ballrooms. We generally have 3,000 or so guests, so we need a pretty big ballroom. And so, sometimes those ballrooms were not available as you got later into November and the beginning of December with, corporate Christmas parties at the hotels. And so we've settled that the week before Thanksgiving, it's usually a slow period for the hotels. And so we can, pretty much get in and have our event. We've had our event at, all the major hotels around Central Florida. We've been at the Rosen, Shingle Creek, Rosen Plaza, Rosen Center. Harris Rosen has been really good to us. He's a philanthropist, and he knows, our ball, our event is a charity event. And, a lot of times charities, there's an overhead cost, there's, administrative cost. And so when you donate to a charity, you don't necessarily, the full donation doesn't go to the intended purpose. With us, there's absolutely 100% of everything, which is generally toys. Some people bring gift cards and whatnot, goes directly out to the community. We fund, the event, but the board members fund it wholly. And so there's no cost, no overhead. We don't take anything out. I mean, it's just donations. We donate our time and money and effort into making this event. And so I've been a part of it for about 22 years. And I've really enjoyed, the 22 years of doing it, seeing the amount of gifts that we collect, and people are always in awe when they come to the ball, especially when they show up for the first time. They've never been to the Margarita Ball.
Yeah.
And at the end of the night, they see all the toys, and it's literally a mountain of toys. It might be a Florida mountain, but it's a mountain of toys. And it's just great to be able to help out the community.
How many people are showing for the Margarita Ball? Because even in like when we first started, it's got to be, or when I've been going, 3 times that. How many thousands of people now are attending?
We estimate, we really don't have a good number, but we estimate that we probably get somewhere around 3,000, give or take, um, that show up to the event.
That's a lot of people.
So yeah, it's a big number. It's really a big number, and it's in Orlando, Florida, generally. Um, the reason I got involved in it was because, again, the charity part of it. I didn't even know about the Margarita Ball until my girlfriend at the time, Lisa, she was going to the event, and had been going to the event for many years. And so we started dating, and she, invited me to the ball.
Yeah.
Her dentist was a board member.
Gotcha.
And so, I started going to the event, saw what they were doing, saw what a great charity it was, and I decided, I wanted to try to become a part of it. He sponsored me. I was able to get in as a director, and have been a director ever since. He has since retired from the ball, and actually retired altogether, I believe. And so, we're always looking to grow, for ways to make the ball more enjoyable for our guests, and be able to in return help the community out, help the kids in the community out. So I've been doing it for, again, 20 some odd years, and really enjoy what I'm doing.
I think it's evolved unbelievably over the years, because when I first went for, let's say, the first decade, it was different because social media didn't really have a presence. So when we would go, it was basically, truthfully, a lot of all different age demographics, but it was more about a party. It was basically like a one night out for a lot of people who had kids, or we all got to see one another that we haven't seen throughout the year. And it's still like that. That's why I love going there, because it's, I lived there since I was 18. I still run into bar owners, restaurant owners, business owners of all sorts that I have. Sometimes I don't see them for 1 year, 10 years, or 30 years. I would walk in there and see them. And I also know people that go there. So you're also kind of connecting, where you don't hang out with them, say, throughout the year, but that's the one time a year you get to see them. And that's one thing I do love about that ball. We used to goof around and call it the adult prom night or middle-aged prom night, because we all dress up that one, and it's also a lot of people, because you give me a lot of tickets. Thank you very much. And a lot of people come to me again that I know that have been coming for years, and we all go out to dinner. Or on the other hand, it's new people that I meet as well that have never gone, that want to go, that are excited to go. So I love that aspect. But what I saw over the years was the first, say, 10 years without social media, and now the next 10 years with social media. And I think it's, at the beginning, like I was saying, it was a lot more about the party, drinking. There wasn't a ton of photos being taken, like maybe disposable cameras. But like in the last 10 years, people want to take a lot of photos for social media, obviously Facebook or Instagram, whatever the case may be. And I think that really helped. It took away a lot of, I can't say it took away, but the drinking wasn't as excessive, I guess you could say. And people kind of just wanted to have great photos, have a good time, kind of network, I guess you could say, take a photo in front of the Margarita Ball wallpaper. Have you seen the transition because of social media, making it bigger, kind of funner?
Yeah. Again, it's like you mentioned, the drinking and stuff. I mean, it started out as a party. The original guys, and I think there's only like one original guy left. And we're going into our 38th year, so there's one original guy left, and he tells us that this started out as a party.
Yeah.
Make no mistakes about it. It was a party.
It was a hardcore party.
It was a
When you're
party.
blocking off hotel floors, to carry the
Yeah,
party out, you know what I mean? The party started at the Margarita Ball. It never ended in the hotel. Like it went all night.
it went all over the place. But yeah, no, it was no doubt it was a party at the onset, and it transitioned, shortly into, a charity event and helping out the community. We still kept, some of the party stuff to it. I mean, I think the Margarita Ball is still a party.
Yeah.
In Orlando, again, there's not a whole lot of opportunities to get dressed up. Um, you go to some of the major cities, yeah, there's always some
Yeah.
place to get up and go to, but to go out to. But Orlando, it isn't. It's a tourist destination. It's a casual, laid back place. So, I mean, it gives people an opportunity to get dressed up. There are other events around town around that time of year where you can get dressed up, but but we do. It is a party, and we do have a good time in it. But it has. Um, I guess we have kind of grown up as an event,
Yeah.
and have still have a good time, and social media has kind of we have kind of embraced it. Obviously, we're on websites, and there's tons of pictures on our website for folks to be able to download and post. And you always see folks, taking selfies and pictures with their friends, and
Oh, yeah.
it's making
It's a
it on
photo shoot, that
Instagram.
place.
It
Yeah.
it is. It really is. And I like to say that it's 3,000 of the best looking people in Orlando show up to our event every year, because the girls are all decked out in
Yeah,
their
for sure.
their best attire, and the guys try to follow suit and keep up with them. So yeah, it's a great time. And again, social media I think is a very important part of it. I mean, you see photos after the Margarita Ball posted on everybody's
Huge.
Instagrams and Facebooks and whatever. Um, and then flipping through some of the pictures. Again, we have 3,000 some odd people show up. I go through the pictures that they post on our website, that we post on our website, and I'll be like, oh man, that person was there. I didn't even see them,
Oh,
because
tons.
it's just such a big event. And there's so many people there, and even if you walk around, you may not see everybody that's there.
No, happens
Um,
all the time. Or you'll be checking on social media to see who's there. That's kind of
right.
how I do it. Besides, say I invite 20 couples, I'll still, or Rhea, whoever I'm with, will look on Facebook and go, Rich, this one's here. Let's find, or you'll be messaging each other because you didn't know if you were going, or who's not, I should say.
Yeah, and the other
Which
thing about
is,
social media also, I mean, again, now we've had a website for years and years. Folks who are interested in coming to the event have been reaching out to us through social media. We try to, keep it um, quaint, which it's hard to keep it quaint when you got 30 some 100 people there. But we try to keep it to folks that we know, clients and customers and business associates and
sure.
stuff like that. But we do get some inquiries through our website as well for folks that want to come to the event. And so we'll end up bringing in some guests that some of us may not know. Again, it was a party for our business associates and friends to come, and our clients to show up, and it has evolved to more than that. The more folks we can get in there, the more gifts we can collect, and the more we can help out the kids in the community during the Christmas time. So
Yeah, and it is a fun party. It's a blast to go. And you'll run into, again, I was just saying, like, I'd run into all these different people. Before you know it, I would even run into my ex-wife, and, I'm having a drink with her, buying her drinks, and you're laughing. And again, it's a place where not only people could come to see old friends, but a place to network, right? I mean, that's kind of what a lot of people are doing there as well.
It is. It is. And again, it's the business community or the members of the board. We have people from all reaches of the business community on the board, doctors, lawyers, dentists, engineers, accountants, IT folks, and just all kinds of
Yeah.
folks are members of the board. And so, just again, it's also a way for us to invite, customers and friends and families and, whatever to an event that is a charity to help the kids. I mean, I can't stress that enough. I mean, it's about the
absolutely.
kids. And so that's why we do what we do.
You're talking thousands upon thousands of toys there. And a lot of people even bring more than, say, 2 toys, or some people, there's just, it's an abundance of just toys. And it's amazing to see even the photos when you're giving it to the children later on, or what you guys are doing and all the work you guys put into it. Because I don't even think people realize at the end of the show, the next day, you're looking at 4,000 toys. You got to move out of there, right? And
exactly.
It's an undertaking.
We have the event on Saturday evening. By Sunday at noon, we've gotten all of those toys distributed to the charities. They come the next morning. We get up in the morning, the hotel, but we go out to the loading docks, and we actually sort the toys and distribute to the charities that morning, Sunday morning. Mm-hmm. Again, we're done usually by noon, 1 o'clock. The charities that we give the toys out to, they apply to us way in advance of the event. They tell us what age groups they serve, how many boys, how many girls, and then we'll sort the toys accordingly and give them those toys. The charities are all vetted well in advance. We want to make sure that we're giving it to charities that are actually, distributing these toys. We then go out once the charities receive the toys. They'll have a party where they distribute the toys to the kids. And there's always one of the members, at least one of the members of the Margarita board will show up. We'll go to the toy distribution party that the charity has, and we're actually there and get to see the joy on the kids' face when they get their toys around Christmas time. So we do our due diligence when we're giving these toys out. We vet the charities.
Let's kind of get into, how does somebody get invited to this if they don't hypothetically know somebody on the board? Like, I know you, and then people either go to you or they come to me to get into the event. Can they purchase a ticket if they don't know anyone? Can they just show up? Let's give them kind of an idea of what it takes to become a part of this if they don't know anyone or they're new to the town.
Yeah, if you're new to the town and you really don't know a member, I mean, the tickets are usually distributed by the members. They're always distributed by the members. And again, it's for, friends and business associates. And,
sure.
But if you don't know anybody, you cannot purchase a ticket. Tickets have never been sold. We've never sold a ticket. We've always just given them to our guests. If you're new to the community and you want to try to attend the ball, you got to go to the website, and then there's an opportunity for you to get a ticket. Now, the tickets are distributed to the board members. Every board member gets an allotment of tickets. Some board members may have a conflict that day, a daughter getting married or somebody getting married or something,
Sure.
and they can't make it, and they'll give those tickets back, and then the board will distribute those to folks that may not be able to may not have access to a ticket. But you got to go on the website and request an invitation. There's no guarantee that you'll get one, but oftentimes we'll have extra tickets that we will distribute through the website. The best, again, if you're new to the community, you may not know a board member. I mean, I think there's 25 of us on the board right now. Typically, we're 25 to 35 board members on any given year is where we're usually at. Right now, I think we're at 25 right now. So you got to know somebody in order to get an invitation. We try to limit to the folks that we know, our customers and our friends and family, because that was kind of how it was originally started. So we want to try to keep to that. We don't just want to have, a mass group of people showing up that we don't know. Again, initially it was a party that was started by businessmen for their family, friends, and customers. So we're trying to stay true to that.
Gotcha. And let's kind of give someone an idea when you get there, what it's going to be like. Obviously there's a band there, but you can buy alcohol there. You used to have it where I think originally maybe margaritas were free, but now they're not. Things are always kind of changing. Sometimes, depending on when you get there, there's appetizers, but it's not a sit-down style meal. It's not like a wedding to a certain degree. How do you present it as, kind of?
Yeah, I mean, it's always been, and the invitation is pretty clear as to what you can expect if you've never been. It's not a sit down. We don't, have dinner per se. We will have heavy hors d'oeuvres at the event. There's usually always somebody walking around. Some of the hotel staff with the hors d'oeuvres. That there are drink tickets there are drinks that are served. Again, you have to purchase the drinks. Can't give away the drinks for liability reasons. There was a time when the Orlando Margarita Society would provide margaritas at the event, but again, the hotels had to stop that. Simply because of the liability reasons, and so they've cut it down to where now we cannot provide the free margaritas. It's a great event. Still, there's plenty of drinks to go around, and so. We still have margaritas, but you just have to purchase them now. None of that comes back to us. None of the money from anything at the hotel, from the hotel rooms to the food or to the drinks or anything, comes back to us. This is totally funded by the board members. Our event is totally funded by the board members.
Yeah. And like you mentioned, it's at a hotel. So if people want to come there and party hard or just drink, you can always stay at the hotel. Usually you'd have to book that in advance, correct? Because usually they sell out a lot of times.
Yeah. Usually they sell out. They seem to always sell out. At least our allotment of rooms. I mean, we get a rate for the event, and those hotel rooms usually do sell out. So yeah, and if you're going to come out and you want to party hard, that's probably the the best way to go is to get a hotel room. And again, the event ends right around 1:30, and usually people go back to their rooms, and they'll still continue it at some of the rooms. You can find an after party. There's always an after party. I don't participate in those after parties much anymore because I got to get up and get downstairs the next day at about 7 o'clock in the morning to help with the toy sorting and the distribution of the toys. So it makes it a little bit harder to get up in the mornings when you've partied excessively hard. I still party hard, but not excessively hard.
Yeah. And I would recommend if anybody does go to the Margarita Ball, I would recommend going to the hotel early, because I think a lot of people go right before it starts, and then you go in a hotel and you get dressed and everything. But if you can go early, you can enjoy the pool, hang out for the day, kind of make an entire day out of it instead of kind of just rushing to get to your room, to get dressed, to go to that. And then you go to the ball, then the next night, or that night, I'm sorry, you go to sleep and you wake up and you got to immediately get out of the hotel. But you can make a really nice day of that, because a lot of people from your organization, they're there throughout the day. They're just not there at night, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, we're there. And this hotel where we're at right now, the Rosen Center, doesn't have a golf course adjacent to it, but we've been at Champions Gate.
Yeah.
We've been at Rosen Shingle Creek. We've been at some other locations, World Marriott. We've been at other locations where they have had a golf course adjacent to it, and folks will come out a day or two before and stay, make a weekend at it, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, go out and play around the golf, and hang out. This one does not have the golf course adjacent to it, but yeah, it's good to come out early if at all possible. If you're going to stay at the hotel, get out there early and like you said, hang out by the pool. There's always a group of people hanging out there. There's always music. There's always food and fun poolside. Yeah. Sometimes you lose track of time, and then I'm having to rush upstairs to try to get ready to. Oh, the ball starts in an hour. I gotta go, and spend too much time at the poolside. But anyways, yeah, it's good to go to the hotel and enjoy yourself there. And again, some folks, come to the hotel, get dressed, go out to dinner. And then show up to the event. Yeah, that's what you guys do quite often. Yeah, show up to the event, a little bit later. You don't have to be there when the doors first open.
Yeah, because we get a whole group together. Either last time we ate at the hotel, but sometimes we'll go to, say, Dragonfly, or say we'll go to an Italian restaurant or whatever, because we have a big crowd. Usually we all get together before there, so we all get to see one another do dinner. I love doing that, because once you get to the ball, I mean, it's a free for all. There's so many people doing so many different things, taking photos, along with running into all different types of people and friends. So for you just to go to the ball to meet everyone, that's hard. Plus the music is going, they want to dance. So many different things are going on. So what we usually do is, for me also to hand out the tickets, is I say, hey, we're all meeting here. I'm not going to be running back and forth outside, to give you all the tickets. I don't have time for that. But if you all want to meet us at one location, which usually becomes a blast, because again, I'm eating dinner with friends that I don't always see. And I was thinking about this, like even when me and you were younger, say 20 years ago, when you start having kids, for the most part, especially like us, back to back, you were back to back to back almost, you don't see a lot of your friends that you used to double date with, either when you were single or even when you're first married. So really, the places I would see you at is either a birthday party for our kids or at this gala. So I was just thinking about that. Like, that's pretty interesting how, sometimes how your life changes, but that is the one thing that never changed, is the Margarita Ball for us. That's always been consistent. And I always know I can see you, your wife, and a lot of other people, where I sometimes, even when I lived in California for 6 years, and the other thing I love about it, because of being so close to Thanksgiving, I would just come here for Thanksgiving anyways. I would be able to come a few days earlier and just make a week out of it. So
Yeah,
You
it's a
know,
good excuse to get out and get together. Like you said, sometimes we get caught up in life,
yeah.
and just don't make the opportunity, don't get the opportunity to to catch up with friends, and this gives you an excuse to do it because it's only once a year, and you got to do it this time, or you got to wait another year to when it's, oh, let's catch dinner. Well, we can do that this weekend or next weekend or in 3 weekends or whenever, 3 months. This is an event again where let's meet at the Margarita Ball. You can't put it off because if you do, it's next year. So
And it's different too because it's Florida. I go to a lot of galas and events and shit, Chicago, New York, or California all the time. But there's really, like you said, Florida's really known for casual, which is what I want to get into next now. So one of the questions that get asked most, women know how to dress, obviously, when they're going there. You never have an issue there.
yeah,
But men, originally wasn't a tuxedo, but now all they basically have to do are suit and tie, correct?
yeah. It was. I mean, it's black tie is recommended,
Yeah.
but we ask that you wear a suit. Yeah, ladies, they got this whole dressing up stuff down.
Yeah, for sure.
They know they know what they're doing when it comes to that. Guys, man, we have some issues with some of the guys showing up to the event. And it's I've stopped some guys at the door. It's like, hey, you can't come in. You're not wearing a tie. You're not wearing a jacket. You're not.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's Florida. It's casual. But it's a ball.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
gotta when in Rome, do as the Romans. Kind of thing. Show up with your at least your suit and tie. Yeah, we've turned guys away. They've had to go because they show up without a tie, and they'll have to go over to the
Yeah.
gift shop and buy a $60 tie or whatever it is.
Right.
And they could have got one at Macy's or whatever, $20 or whatever. But and
Yeah,
then they'll
for
come
sure.
in and they'll pull it off. I mean, which
Yeah.
I guess it is what it is. I end up taking my tie off too after a while. You get out there and you start dancing a little bit and you start getting a little bit hotter. And so, yeah. But you got to have that shirt and tie and, the suit when you walk in the door.
A lot of people in Florida, they frown upon dressing up like that, not to be like their whole lifestyle is casual. One of the reasons they love living here, I think, is because they love being in Tommy Bahama or fitness attire or just t-shirts.
Yep.
And they're not that comfortable. But what I do like lately is you guys have been letting people in because originally it was like more like we all had to wear black tuxes. And then it was a dark suit. But some of the guys coming with some more eccentric looking suits, including my father, obviously. But they're wearing a bunch of unique type sport coats and you guys are allowing those in, which makes it really fun because a lot of these guys are really going far out. But I think it looks great in there. It's not like it's out of place, if that makes sense.
No, and you see all kinds of stuff in there. You'll see guys wearing the Scottish, formal attire, wearing a kilt. And you'll see the military guys with their military dress,
Yeah.
which is cool to see. Love to see the military guys when they walk in. But yeah, you see a whole wide range of outfits for guys. Again, the ladies are wearing their best gowns.
For sure.
But it's good. It's good. Yeah, we have kind of it has kind of our dress code has kind of varied a little bit, and there are again still sometimes guys try to get in there with without wearing a tie, but we try to catch them at the door.
Yeah.
And it's
Another,
fully stated on the invitation.
for sure. And another question I get asked pretty often is, can I smoke there or can I smoke cigars or is there an area to smoke? So you want to get into that? I mean, I know the answer, but.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I enjoy a cigar every now and then, but now, obviously, that's a state law. No smoking in there. I mean, there are, again, the ballroom is always right across from where the pool is, and so you can always go outside and have a smoke if you want to. But yeah, smoking is prohibited in any enclosed venue, I guess, in the state. And like I said, I enjoy a cigar every now and then, but that doesn't mean everybody does. Enjoy the
Sure.
cigar smoke. So I mean, I respect that, and so um, I usually don't have a chance to smoke a cigar at the ball.
Yeah.
So
Here's something I think people get confused too regarding the invitation is they don't realize it's for two people. I think a lot of people think one invitation or the invitation is for one specific person. You want to kind of talk about how one is for obviously two people. Could that be, I know the answer, but two dudes, two girls, and also by two people coming means two toys, not one toy, right?
that's absolutely correct. Everybody needs to bring a toy. Again, I mean, this is for kids, for the
Right.
kids in the community, that may not have um, a toy to open at Christmas. So it's important that every individual that walks through our door that comes to the event bring a toy. We have a recommended or suggested value of $50 per toy minimum. Uh, we've seen computers come through there. We've seen iPads. Where folks are very generous and go out of their way to make someone's Christmas special. So yeah, the invitation is good for two guests. It doesn't matter, two guys, two ladies, man and a woman. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Come, bring two folks, bring two gifts, and you are good to go. And then come in and enjoy the event, enjoy the party, enjoy the music, enjoy the crowd. One of the most enjoyable things, or one of the best things of the event for me, is just people watching.
Absolutely.
I enjoy. I stand at the front door. We were at the front door, greeting the guests as they come in, and then I end up walking around the event, just people watching, because it's just everyone seems to be having a great time at the event. In the 20 some odd years that I've been associated with it, whether as a guest or as a board member, um, I've always just enjoyed watching people.
Yeah.
And everybody seems to be having a good time at the event. And so, that's part of it. Make sure people are having a good time, and then make sure that the kids are able to enjoy Christmas as well. So it's a good time. It's a lot of fun. Again, people watching is my favorite thing.
I also love watching all the toys come in. And when I go toy shopping for that time of year or whatever for the ball, I love finding toys that I would want to have during that year. And people bring all different sizes. And I've even gotten nuts and brought jumbo bears, teddy bears that were 6 feet high. And you got tons of people bringing in bicycles. I love seeing not only the people, but all the different toys that they're bringing. You're literally looking at thousands of different toys that I never even knew existed. And just so interesting, even when they stack all the toys, which looks like you're in a gymnasium and like you said, it's a mountain or a hill of toys. There's so many toys that just kind of also bring me back to when I was younger that are still kind of around. That could be games or whatever the case may be. I just love seeing all the toys. It kind of makes you feel like a kid again. And we all are walking around with toys. like we're big kids again, and we're talking about the toys, and people got to know that you have to bring it unwrapped, so it's not wrapped, right?
Yeah. Unwrapped toys, and some things don't ever go out of style.
Yeah.
Bicycles don't ever go out of style. Sporting stuff doesn't go. Basketball, football, those things don't ever. Fishing rods don't ever
Sure.
go out of style. But then there are, the latest and greatest, gadgets. Sometimes you got to go online and see what's the end toy for that year, and then good luck trying to find one at the store so you can bring it to the ball. But the mountain of toys, man, that's what's impressive to me. Again, I'm at the front door, and it's almost kind of like your kids watching them grow up. You don't see them get bigger and taller and growing. And when I'm at the front there greeting people, whatever, I don't realize how big this mountain of toys is getting. And at the end of the night, I walk by there and be like, wow, you guys did all right, the guests, because y'all are the ones that bring the toys. We're giving you the venue to bring the toys, but y'all are the ones bringing the toys. And then at the end, the next day, when we're actually sorting the toys, really impressed with the quality of the toys. It's not just the toy, but the quality of the toys that y'all are able to provide for these kids. And we also we'll also accept gift cards too, because we provide gifts or toys for kids from 0 to 18. And a lot of times those older kids kind of get left out of the mix. And so we'll provide them with a gift card, or we'll provide the charity with a gift card that they can use to buy that older kid a toy that's effective or appropriate for their age. Usually the kids, 1 to 13 are pretty well covered by the gifts, the toys that are brought in.
Yeah.
The older kids are the ones that are kind of left out a little bit.
Yeah, and us living in Orlando, there's so many different types of gifts you could get, obviously Disney related, Universal related. We definitely have so many unique, I think, things we can even purchase locally that other cities or states don't have. Just living in Orlando. If you go to, like, say, Walmart on Turkey Lake, I mean, a quarter of that thing is toys for kids related to everything Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, everything.
Yep.
I think it's very organized, which is what I love about this this ball. You have a lot of security there, and it's being very regulated, but not overly regulated where I'm saying security's throwing people out, things in that nature, but it is very organized. Even when you want to take a picture, say, in front of the wallpaper for the Margarita logo, which is like basically that, a lot of people, like, the lines are set up properly. There's drink stations everywhere. There's security, like I said, to make sure the people that are coming in and coming out are all being watched, and it's a very safe environment.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And again, I don't recall there ever being an incident at the event. But we do have a couple of uniformed officers at the event, just so that folks know that there is a police presence. And in case something ever went awry. Again, never seen that, and hopefully we never will experience anything like that. But we also have a security group that's in the actual event, and they look like you and me, walking around, and they've never reported any incident at the event. Again, people are there to have a good time, have fun, enjoy themselves. Everybody's dressed up, dressed to a T. It's like you're coming there to look good and to feel good and to have fun, and that's basically what happens at the Margarita Ball.
And people underestimate how big it is and how kind of fun it is, because a lot of people go to weddings, right? Even if you come from a big family, you may have been to a wedding once couple times in your life where there's 500 people, or been to an event where there's 500 or even 1,000. When you go to this, there's 1,000 people on the dance floor. Like, you got to realize, right? This isn't when I don't think most people even realize it when they get there, how big this is and how kind of fun it is too. It's almost like a mini concert, I guess you could say, or something you'd go to, where you had a venue of, say you went to see your favorite comedian and it seats 5,000 people or 4,000 or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of people there, and everyone is there to really have a good time because it's for a good cause. I mean, let's call it for what it is. So
it absolutely is. And we have a great band every year that performs at the event. It's a live band. I think there are 8 or 9 members in the band. So it's not like one guy, or 2 guys just playing a couple of instruments. And it's a big band. It's a really good band. And again, we'll switch it up from year to year. The last several years, we've kept the same band. We've had good feedback from our guests on the band, and so we've we're sticking with them for the time being. And we've been fortunate enough to get this band. This band is in very high demand. They always ask before they book anything on that weekend. They will check with us first, and they're booked out, years in advance.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a very popular band locally, and again, they always check with us. Hey, y'all want us to perform on Margarita the week before Thanksgiving, Saturday? Yeah, absolutely. They'll always check with us. We got somebody that's interested in having us perform that day, and so they always check with us. But the band is great, and then once in between sets, we have a DJ going.
Yeah.
The dance floor. Once people get on the dance floor, that dance floor stays packed pretty much the whole night. And sometimes it spills off the dance floor. The dance. So it's a good time.
Yeah. It's only so big, that dance floor. It bleeds right into everybody else.
Yeah.
All right. I think we covered everything for the most part. What do you think? Yeah,
no, I think this was good. I mean, I think we have. If I would just like to say that, again, we're board members. We're 25 to 35. Every year we take applications for board members. We also vet the board members, make sure that they're, fine, upstanding members of the community. And so if anybody out there that might be interested in joining the Margarita Society as a board member, just get in contact with us via the website, and submit an application. We're down to about 25 members now. We got room to grow a little bit as well. So that's basically
awesome.
it.
UCF, you're representing today.
Yeah. I'm gonna be wearing. I wear all kinds of hats now. I got one kid at one school, and I got another one going to another school, so I'm representing everybody.
I knew you when you were at UCF, and how things change. Like one of my daughters is a Knight. She goes to UCF, and neither one of your kids so far are Knights. Who would have thought? I always thought your kids would go be Knights.
I wish, but they, they're charting their own path.
For sure. For sure. All right, I'm going to let you know when I post this, and whatever logo we want to use for this, you let me know and we'll write something up. But I'm very excited that we kind of got this out, because it was something that I get questioned about all the time, and you can't go back and forth, text, email. From now on, I'm going to say, hey, go check out this podcast. Me and my buddy did. You want to know the ins and outs, and I think a lot of people in Orlando too might want to know about it as well, if they've been here or not.
Yeah, I think, again, 3,000, 30 some odd hundred people is a lot of people, but that's not nearly the number of people that probably we haven't reached.
Right.
Every year,
Yeah.
I think we're always getting inquiries for new, for invitations, and we just don't have enough to go around, year in and year out. So.
Yeah, well, this is the biggest ball I know in Orlando. I don't know of anything bigger or more known. I don't know, maybe there is.
There are some others out there. This is clearly the only free one. Well, I say free. I mean,
That's right. That's what I should say too. Free.
I mean, you have to bring a gift for per guest. But any other ball around town that you want to go to is going to cost you, 100 or more, per person to attend.
Or even 45 a ticket for a lot of these different events that are going on, kind of.
Right.
I don't want to name them, but 45 and up or 100.
Yeah. So I mean, we try to keep it. We've had folks ask to sponsor the event. Restaurants, big corporate type sponsorship. But the board has started with it just being the board members funding it, and the board has wanted to keep it that way. It could be bigger, it could be more, if we allowed corporate sponsorship, but the board just doesn't want to go in that direction.
Right.
We are the Orlando Margarita Society. We don't want to, post plaster the invitations with corporate members.
I understand.
And advertise for them as well, even though they are funding it. So we've stayed away from that. We stayed away from corporation sponsorship.
Yeah. It's going on 40 years now almost. What are you guys, 30, like you said, 83, 30?
38. 38. I think 38. This year will be 38, yeah.
That's crazy. That's a lot.
38.
It's a long time.
37, yeah. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. So.
All right. I'm going to wrap it up there, brother.
All right, man.
All right. Thanks again. We'll kick it in the ass.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see you soon.
All right. Be good.
All right. You too.